Hello. Here again.
Here we are again on a rather sort of dull day.
Yes,
but anyway, I'm up staying with Jen.
And so we thought, we were talking just now before we turned on our recorder about when you suddenly realise that you're old.
Yes, I think. Was it an age for you? Was it an actual age?
Well, I think that, you're doing things, your work, or you're doing things, and you think you're still sort of in the mix.
Yeah.
And then you get sort of like past 50, and you suddenly realise that you're on the other edge of the slope.
Yes, I think 55 was probably for me. Once I went over 55 and I was approaching 60.
Yeah.
I think that was the timeline. And then, of course, you sort of sometimes have a slight ache. Or you get a little tireder than you did before.
Right, you do. Yes.
And you start to notice things more. And then you say to yourself, well, I am nearly 60.
And of course, you get the sort of, you sort of start fitting in with the perception of society. People say, oh, you're getting old. You get these birthday cards about, oh, you're not so old,
Which I loathe.
So do I. I won't buy them for anybody.
Won't buy those.
And you sort of suddenly start feeling that you are on the other side of being young.
Yeah.
Which is quite scary, actually. I found it quite scary.
And then people say to you about, well, at least you get your bus pass.
Yes.
And then they try and make amends for that.
Yes.
It is. And then, of course, you look back and you say to somebody about some event, and then they say, I wasn't born then.
Yeah, that's right.
So that,
that's right.
Diana's a good benchmark. Where were you?
Yeah.
The day Diana, I wasn't born.
John Lennon died.
And John Lennon, of course, even more so.
Even President Kennedy.
President Kennedy, of course, we all remember where we were. So then you realise, you think, well, actually, yes, that was quite a while ago.
Yes.
The early 90s, to me, went yesterday.
Yes, that's right. It's true, and it's a ridiculous thing to say, but it does go very, very fast, and it does seem to start going faster. And but what I think I object mostly to the sort of perception, to the sort of the over 50 perception. I mean, over 50, you can't say over 50s are all old.
No,
it's ridiculous, and everyone's different. I don't want to. I've never. I, as a grandma, I particularly objected for a long time to grandmas being featured in children's books as little old ladies with grey hair
and bun with a stoop.
And a little
with
stick.
a stoop and a stick. As is isn't there something on the for cars? Elderly crossing or something, and they're both stooped,
that's
and
right.
they're trying to change that.
Oh, that's good.
They're trying to change that because it's very derogatory. It really is.
Yeah, I had a job and I was working full time, and I'm not uniquely so.
And I have a job now, and I'm 68,
Yeah.
and I have a summer job. So it is. It's
not necessarily an old granny
perception,
image, the old granny image,
which we are sort of trying to get rid of, I think.
Although I dislike also older people trying to look like they're young people, which just does not work. I'm afraid how much plastic surgery they have, they will not look young.
Animal print's difficult as well at a certain age. Animal print can be difficult at a certain age, as can double denim.
Oh, double denim.
Well,
that just makes you look like you have a different different preferences in life. Which is fine, but
so there are various things that as you say, you can do, but it is that general sort of idea, and people talk slowly to you and louder. I get that sometimes.
And of course now at this moment we're being blamed, us older people, for having as if it's our fault that there's young people can't afford to buy houses, but the world is very different. I'm not going to go into a political thing because that's not what this is for, but we've all lived through different times.
Absolutely.
And I don't think that's really accepted. And we're not responsible either for the fact that there are not enough sort of services for older people. I mean, I don't know. I think it's a bit short-sighted that no one ever thought that was going to happen.
No, well, you see, I tell you what happened was that there was such an emphasis on being healthier, and well done, of course. We all want to be healthier. But they didn't actually think, gosh, we're going to have people living now. It's not that lived in your 90s, 100.
No.
Because people are taking note not to do this, not to do that, eat more of this, eat more of that, cut back on that.
Have a bit more exercise.
Have a bit more exercise, and now you're getting to a point where you're having an older population, but the plan hasn't been put in, I don't think, to sort of really care for them.
Well, although actually I'm not sure that will continue, it's quite interesting to know that there's now saying that they're not all going to live till they're terribly old.
Oh, all right. Well, I hope we're the ones that are going to live.
So there's all quite
category where we are going to.
And of course our aim is to live a long and productive life. I think one of the things that I get a little bit fed up with myself is that I feel as if have all the really best things, have all the exciting things happened to me already.
Yeah.
I mean, things like a lot of things that would have been exciting to me when I was young. I find that quite hard always to have the same sort of excitement about that now because we've done it before.
You've done it.
Yes.
Yes, I know that is that wonderful feeling of anticipation when you're going on an adventure. But you've done
and I don't see how we can create that when you've got it's like it has to be different. It has to be. Doesn't it?
Sort of thinking of almost going on like a trip over the Himalayas or something, and doing something really to push yourself and feeling that buzz.
Yes,
the adrenaline.
Yes,
going.
That's right. Yeah. Yes. Well, for me, the adrenaline still goes when I'm going to the Royal Opera House to see the ballet. To me still does do that for me.
And for me, the theatre.
Yeah, and you go to the theatre a lot.
When I'm sitting in just before curtain,
it's a moment of anticipation.
So I still get that. What am I going to see? Yes, but of course, I do understand what you're saying with that. Though there is a sort of
you don't want to. You want to explore things and you want to keep an open mind, but you don't want to necessarily do things over and over again that you've done before.
But I tell you the other thing was I'm lucky. I mean, I live in London, so I'm lucky in this respect that just before Christmas, when you have the windows, I know they start very early now, too early, but when you really get that week before Christmas,
that's the best bit.
And the windows start twinkling with twinkles, twinkle time, still have that childish excitement of what Fortnums and Selfridges are going to put in their window. Those Selfridges have let me down in the past, really, but Fortnums still. And going into Fortnums still. There's still that lovely magical Christmas feel.
Yes, that's true.
So
actually, anything when you can reconnect with yourself as a child, I think is amazing.
Yes, well,
sometimes even in the country, we only recently we went and we were looking at a pond and we saw newts. We hadn't seen newts for ages, and little frogs and the same sort of excitement about seeing things like that as you have when you're a child. And I think
how nice is that?
It's lovely.
That's fabulous.
And Tony I hadn't seen newts for years. He said, "I haven't seen newts for years," and suddenly he becomes like a little boy again with a jam jar.
Yes,
and I think that's a very it's very important to preserve.
Yes,
isn't it?
No, that is lovely, and to also pass on, in your case, to your grandchildren.
Or anyone else.
How lovely to have the sort of children around and say, "Well, look, there's a newt." We used to do that, because that's a magical sort of. It's a magical thing, as you say, which doesn't cost any money. It's not, you can do that at any age. You can look in rock pools.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we've come out of this discussion is quite hopeful, I think.
And quite hopeful, so we'll say cheerio for now.
Cheerio. Bye-bye for now.